Have you ever wondered why the more you do for him, the more distant he becomes? Why every time you try harder, give more, love louder, bend further, he starts to pull away like your effort means less, not more? It's confusing, it's painful, and it makes you question everything. You keep showing up, hoping he'll see how deeply you care. But instead, it feels like you're chasing someone who's no longer looking back. There's a quiet truth most women never hear. A flame that burns too close too fast will only leave behind ashes. And right now, you may be burning out. Not because you weren't enough, but because you gave too much too soon to someone who didn't know how to receive it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "He who angers you controls you." But what if we change that just a little? What if the one who pulls your focus, your energy, your peace already has too much power over your heart? And the moment you stop handing that power away, that's when everything shifts. Think of a magnet. When it's pulled too close, the energy collapses. But when there's distance, the tension builds, the pull becomes stronger. Attraction is not about constant closeness. It's about space, mystery, confidence, presence. And that's exactly what happens in relationships. The moment you stop doing too much, the moment you step back, not to punish, but to reclaim your worth, he feels it. And he begins to fall, not for your effort, but for your energy. Right now, you might feel tired, drained from proving your love, exhausted from chasing moments that never feel enough. But beautiful woman, hear this. You were never supposed to shrink to keep someone interested. You were never meant to pour endlessly just to feel seen. That's not love, that's survival. And you were made for more. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are simply remembering who you are. A woman who does not chase love. She inspires it. A woman who does not beg for effort. She commands respect. This is the moment you stop doing the one thing that's been keeping him distant and start living like the queen you were always meant to be. If this message touched something deep inside you, if it reminded you of the strength you've forgotten or the love you truly deserve, then take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working with heart and purpose to bring you the truth, the healing, and the power you need to rise, because you were never meant to feel small in love. You were meant to reign. Number 1. When you stop overgiving, he starts noticing what he took for granted. Have you ever felt like the more you give, the less he sees you? Like the more you love, the more invisible you become? You show up with your whole heart. You stay when it's hard. You give, not because you expect something in return, but because that's who you are, loyal, devoted, true. But somehow, instead of getting closer, he drifts. Instead of appreciating your effort, he gets used to it. And the worst part? He starts treating your love like it's guaranteed, like it will always be there. But beautiful woman, there comes a time when giving too much turns into losing yourself. You were not put on this earth to be his emotional lifeline. You were not created to constantly pour into a man who doesn't know how to hold what you give. And when you stop overgiving, when you take your energy back, not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect, everything changes. That's when he begins to feel the space, the silence, the absence of your effort. That's when he starts falling, because the thing he took for granted is no longer at his feet. What you allow is what will continue. When you stop allowing him to take without giving, he finally meets the truth. Your love was never owed, it was a gift. And the moment that gift is gone, that's when his eyes open. Think of a candle. You lit it every day, hoping the warmth would bring him closer. But when you keep lighting a candle for someone who never protects it from the wind, it burns out. And when you stop relighting it, that's when he finally sees how dark the room really is without you. Maybe right now you feel exhausted. Maybe you're questioning your worth. But hear this, your worth never depended on how much you gave. It lived in you all along. You were never supposed to prove love by draining yourself. You were supposed to receive it too. This is the moment where everything changes, not because he finally sees your value, but because you do. You are not just a giver, you are a woman stepping into her power. You are a woman choosing herself. And queens don't chase, they reign. Write this in the comments and claim it. I stop overgiving. I start rising. Queens, let this be your turning point. If this spoke to your heart, like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you truth, healing, and powerful lessons, because you were never meant to be forgotten. You were meant to reign. Number 2. When you stop explaining yourself, he starts hearing you in the silence. Have you ever noticed how quiet becomes louder when you stop trying to be heard? How the moment you stop explaining yourself, he suddenly begins to pay attention. It's strange, isn't it? You speak, you explain, you pour out your heart, hoping he'll understand, and still he looks at you like he's miles away. But the second you stop, the second you choose silence over struggle, that's when it finally hits him. That's when he starts to hear what your words never could. You see, a woman explaining her worth is like a diamond shouting to prove it shines. It shouldn't have to. A diamond simply exists, and the light finds it. In the same way, when you stop justifying your love, your value, your pain, he begins to feel what he could never fully see before. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one, and in love." The more you try to explain why you deserve respect, the more it slips through your hands. Because real power doesn't speak, it moves in silence. And when that silence comes from a woman who once begged to be understood, that silence becomes the loudest sound he's ever heard. Imagine walking into a room where a candle used to glow. You don't notice its light until it's gone. You search the walls for warmth, for comfort, for presence, but it's too late. The light has vanished. That's what happens in relationships too. He didn't notice your voice when you were explaining, giving, trying. But when you stop, when the warmth disappears, he starts looking for it. He starts realizing that your silence says everything. Beautiful woman, you don't need to explain your soul to a man who never learned how to listen. You don't need to fight for understanding when your peace is already priceless. The moment you stop explaining, stop pleading, stop chasing clarity, he will feel the shift. And that shift, that's when he starts falling. Because now you are not just a woman who walked away. You are a woman who no longer lowers her voice to be heard. A woman who rises in silence. A woman who leads with energy, not explanations. That's the beginning of living as a queen. Write this in the comments and claim it, queens. My silence speaks louder than my pain. Let it be your affirmation. Let it be your power. We are working hard to bring you real, life-changing lessons because queens like you deserve more than understanding. You deserve to reign. Number 3. When you stop chasing him, he starts wondering why you're no longer running. Have you ever noticed how a man pulls away when you're the one always calling, always texting, always showing up first? It's like the more you run after him, the more he stands still. The more you reach out, the more he leans back. But the moment you stop, the moment you turn around and walk away, that's when everything changes. That's when he starts asking himself questions he never asked before. Why did she stop? Why isn't she chasing me anymore? There's a powerful truth that too many women forget. The one who holds back their energy holds the power. When you chase, you give your power away. You tell him with your actions that he is the prize. But when you stop running, stop reaching, stop chasing, that's when he starts feeling the emptiness your presence used to fill. Think of a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it flies away. But when you sit still, calm, grounded, sure of yourself, it often lands gently on your shoulder. That's how real attraction works in relationships. He needs to feel the shift. He needs to feel what it's like when your energy no longer rushes toward him. That silence, that distance, that space. It's louder than words. You might feel scared at first, like if you stop trying, you'll lose him. But lovely woman, hear this. If he only stays when you chase him, he was never really with you to begin with. And if you walk away and he doesn't follow, that just saved you years of chasing someone who was never running toward you in the first place. You've done enough. You've tried, waited, and reached out. Now it's time to remember who you are. You don't chase, you attract. You don't beg, you inspire. You don't compete, you reign. Because the moment you stop chasing is the moment he starts seeing your worth and starts falling hard. Write this affirmation in the comments and claim it. I don't chase, I reign. Let the world hear it, queens. Let him feel it. Let yourself believe it. We are working every day to bring you the truth, the strength, and the life-changing lessons you deserve. Because, queens, your time is now. Number 4. When you stop making excuses for his behavior, he starts seeing the mirror. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why am I always the one justifying his actions? Why are you the one explaining his coldness, softening his harsh words, pretending his silence is just stress? Deep down, you've known something's not right, but still, you've covered for him again and again, hoping that love means patience, hoping that one day he'll change. But here's the truth most women don't want to admit. As long as you keep making excuses for him, he never has to look at himself. You became his shield. Every time he failed to show up, you told yourself he was busy. Every time he hurt you, you told yourself he didn't mean it. But when you stop making those excuses, when you finally stand in your truth, he's left with only one thing, his reflection. And that mirror, it's not gentle. It shows him the man he's become, and for the first time, he can't run from it. There's a quote that says, "When you stop covering the sun, even the shadows disappear." You were covering the truth, dimming your light to protect him from consequences. But the moment you stop doing that, the moment you step back, the light shines where he didn't want it to. He starts to see the impact of his choices, and he doesn't like what's staring back. Think of a cracked mask. As long as you keep repainting it, he looks fine on the outside. But the second you stop, the cracks show. And when they show, he can't hide behind your love anymore. He has to face the truth. That's when things start to shift. That's when the regret begins to build. Because the woman who once protected him has finally decided to protect herself. You were never meant to carry both your emotions and his mistakes, and you were never made to heal a man by wounding yourself. No more. Because this is the moment you stop being the excuse and start becoming the reason he finally sees what he's done. Dear woman, this is not your breaking, it's your awakening. You are not here to carry his weight. You are here to rise into something greater. This is your beginning. From now on, you no longer cover for him. You rise without him. because this is what living as a queen looks like. Write this in the comments and claim it. I stop excusing. I start rising. Queens, if this spoke to your heart, like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, creating powerful lessons to help you reclaim your worth and step into the life you were born to rule. Number 5. When you stop making him your world, he starts craving your orbit. ChatGPT said, "Have you ever noticed how he stops appreciating your love the moment you make him your everything? You start rearranging your life around him. You cancel plans, lose sleep, ignore your own needs, just to be closer to him. And instead of valuing that, he begins to pull away. It's a strange truth in love. The more you center your world around him, the more he forgets your worth. But the moment you stop doing that, the moment you start choosing yourself first, he feels it. And that's when everything begins to change." There's a powerful quote that says, "The moon doesn't chase the earth, yet the earth can't stop orbiting it." That's what happens when you stop revolving around him. He starts feeling your distance. He starts craving your attention again. Because the love that once came too easy now becomes something he has to earn. And nothing pulls a man closer than the feeling of almost losing what he thought would always be there. Imagine a sun. The sun does not follow. The sun rises on its own. It shines whether he's watching or not. But the moment he feels the warmth slipping away, the moment your light stops wrapping around him, he starts looking for it. That's what happens when you stop making him your world. You become the sun in your own life again. And suddenly he's standing in the cold, wondering how he ever let that light drift so far. He thought you would always be available, always one call away. But when you stop doing that, when your energy shifts back to you, he starts realizing what it means to miss you. He starts wondering why you're no longer the center of his universe. And that ache, that absence, it teaches him what presence really meant. But lovely woman, this isn't about getting him back. This is about getting yourself back. Because the moment you stop shrinking your life to fit his, you step into your power. You stop orbiting and you start reigning. You are not a satellite circling his world. You are the center of your own. You are not lost. You were just giving too much to someone who didn't deserve to hold everything. Now it's time to rise. This is your moment. Stand tall, glorious lady, and take up space. The right man won't expect you to revolve around him. He will rise beside you or get left behind. Write this in the comments and claim it. I no longer orbit around him. I reign in my own light. We are working hard to bring you real, life-changing lessons because you were never meant to chase. You were meant to reign. Number 6. When you stop being always available, he starts valuing your presence. Have you ever noticed how quickly he replies when you stop replying first? How he suddenly wants to see you when you no longer drop everything just to be available for him? It's almost like the moment you stop being everywhere for him, he finally starts looking for you. You were always one step ahead, calling first, checking in, being there even when he wasn't asking. You were the constant, the comfort, the one he could always reach without effort. But here's the truth he never saw coming. The moment you stop being always available is the moment he begins to feel your value. There's a reason people say familiarity breeds contempt. When you're always there, always reachable, always giving him your time, your presence becomes expected, not appreciated. But when you step back, not to play games, but to protect your peace, he starts to feel the space. And that space, That's where he starts falling. That's when he realizes that your presence was not a given, it was a gift. Think of a beautiful painting hanging in a quiet gallery. Everyone walks by it every day, barely noticing, but the day it's removed, the room feels empty. People look at the blank wall, confused. They start to remember the colors, the feeling, the beauty they took for granted. That painting didn't shout to be seen. It simply existed with grace. And when it was gone, its absence did the talking. That's what happens in relationships. You were always there, shining without asking for applause. But when you step back, when you stop showing up at every call, when you take your time and energy back, you stop being his routine and you become his realization. And now, lovely woman, it's time to rise. You don't need to be everywhere to be missed. You don't need to be always available to be valued. The moment you choose yourself is the moment he realizes you were the center of it all. He didn't lose you when you were silent. He lost you when he thought your availability meant he never had to earn your presence. So now, let the world know, I am not always available. I am always valuable. Write this in the comments, queens, and claim it with power. We are working hard every day to bring you the truth, the strength, and the lessons that help you rise into the woman you were always meant to be. Number 7. When you stop trying to prove you're enough, he starts realizing he was never worthy. Have you ever asked yourself, what else can I do to make him see my worth? Have you ever cried into your pillow after giving your best, only to feel like it still wasn't enough for him? You bent, you waited, you showed up with love, kindness, loyalty, and still he looked away. Still, he acted like you were replaceable. But here's the truth, no one told you. The more you try to prove you're enough, the more he believes he doesn't have to. There comes a point where giving more doesn't bring him closer, it pushes him further, and when you finally stop trying, when you stop proving, that's when everything changes. That's when he starts falling hard. Because only then does he feel the weight of your absence. Only then does he realize that what he had was more than enough, and he was never truly ready for it. There's a quote that says, "The day you stop chasing is the day he starts remembering." And it's true. When you stop showing up where you're not seen, when you stop lowering your standards just to feel chosen, you create space. And that space becomes his mirror, a mirror that reflects everything he failed to appreciate. And trust me, queens, mirrors don't lie. Think of a diamond buried in the dirt. It shines, but it's hidden, and every day you try to wipe the dirt away, hoping he'll finally see it. But the moment you stop dusting it off, the moment you stop trying to make him notice, you let the diamond do what it was always meant to do, shine on its own. And suddenly he sees the light he was too blind to recognize before. Right now, you may feel tired, but hear this, beautiful woman. This is not your end. This is your turning point. You are not here to prove anything. You are here to become everything he thought he could replace. You don't need to beg to be loved. You don't need to prove that you matter. You already do. Write this in the comments and claim it. I stop proving. I rise. Let this be your line in the sand, your new beginning. Lovely queens, if this message touched something deep inside you, if it reminded you of your power, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you the truth, the healing, and the fire to help you rise. Because your love was never the problem, he just wasn't ready for a queen.